Hi, welcome to Archana's kitchen. Today we're going to be cooking Dhingri Mutter. It is one of my favorite dishes. This is a great dish that goes with pulao and fokas, and that's going to be my dinner tonight. So now let's go see how to make this dish. Now what do we need to make Dhingri Mutter? We need some button mushrooms with the stem removed, broccoli, which I'm adding as an extra, some peas, green peas that is steamed, yogurt, thick curd, freshly pureed tomatoes, garlic cloves, ginger, turmeric, some fresh spices like cinnamon, cardamom and cloves, red chili powder, poppy seeds, garam masala optionally if you want to make it a little more spicier, salt to taste, and some cashew nuts. And last of all, some coriander leaves for garnishing as well. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is to take the whole spices and powder them, crush them really well until fine. I like to grind my spices fresh. The flavors that come out of the fresh spices are simply unbeatable. You could add your freshly ground garam masala or the store-bought one, but nothing can beat the freshly ground spices. Okay, now I have a roughly powdered spice mixture. I'm going to transfer it back to this bowl so we can use it for later. My next step is to make a paste of the ginger and garlic. Before I do that, I'm going to roughly chop the ginger up so it'll be just easier to make it into a paste. Just take a spoon, mix it up, and pound it a little more. Okay, now I'm done with making a paste of the ginger garlic. Gonna keep it back in the bowl. My next step is to actually make a paste of the cashews and poppy seeds. You could do it in your mixie as well, but I like the pestle and mortar. It just gives a very meditating feel when you actually have to pound something by yourself. Just going to add a little bit of oil to this so we can get a almost smooth paste. I'm not looking at to make a very smooth paste, but I like the little bit of crunchiness of the nuts that comes in. There you go. We have a coarsely ground mixture of the cashew nuts and poppy seeds. I'm going to put it back into its bowl. So now we're all set to go for our next step, and that's roughly chopping your mushrooms into quarters. Okay, now to make Dhingri Mutter, we're all set with preparing our ingredients. We need, I like to use a heavy bottom stainless steel pan. If you don't have one, a flat bottom pan works really well. So now what we're going to do is heat up the pan. We'll bring the pan to sort of a medium heat. Once the pan is heated up, we're going to add some oil. About 2 teaspoons of oil into the pan. See, I'm not going to wait for the oil to heat up really hot because I don't want my garlic and ginger to get burnt. It's going to be on low heat, so I'm going to saute the garlic and ginger a little bit in the pan until we get a sweet smelling aroma and the rawness of the garlic and ginger. is reduced. I think it's sauteed well now. I'm going to add the tomato puree. The heat is on low. I've turned the heat to high now. To this, I'm going to add a bit of turmeric powder, some red chili powder to taste, and give it a quick stir. I'm going to cover the pan with a lid, and I'm going to allow the tomatoes to boil for a couple of minutes. You can see the tomato boiling now. At this point, I'm going to simmer it. I'm going to add the peas, the mushrooms, and broccoli. And finally, the yogurt as well into this. And give the mixture a stir. At this stage, I'm going to add in the salt, and the cashew nut, poppy seeds mixture. Right now, the only other ingredient that we are left to add is the freshly ground spices and the garam masala that is optional. Remember, the mushrooms give out a lot of water, so I'm not going to add any water at this stage. It's going to simmer, and I'm going to on medium high, and I'm going to cover the pan and let the vegetables cook along with its spices. You can see the vegetables are cooking. I like the way, and you notice that there is more liquid down. It's just been a couple of minutes, and I opened it to check how it is doing. I like to monitor my vegetables very closely because I don't like overcooking them as well. So there is enough liquid, the gravy inside, so we don't need to add any more water. At this stage, I'm going to add my spices, the freshly ground spices. Now, I'm going to add a little more garam masala, which is again homemade but with a lot more ingredients. I'm going to give this mixture a quick stir, trying to be gentle because I don't want the broccoli to, lose its shape. Going to again cover it and allow the mixture to simmer for another 5 more minutes until the vegetables are just rightly done. Oh, I think I'm gonna turn off the heat. It's been about 5 minutes and I see a lot of gravy that has now come out. It's just perfect. The mushrooms, I'm just gonna, yes, it's cooked, it's tender. Just pricking it lightly with a spoon, you should be able to make out whether it's firm. And broccoli doesn't typically need a lot of cooking when it just sits in there. And the peas was already steamed lightly, so the only thing that needed a little bit of cooking was the mushrooms. So we're now done with making our Dhingri Mutter. Let's go transfer it into a serving bowl. There you go. I've garnished it. I've laid it well in the bowl. And now I can't wait to taste it. I'm going to get myself a spoon. This is one of my quick dish dinners for those days when I want to be light on cooking. Delicious. I love the curry. I'm going to taste the mushroom. Just the right tenderness. It's not overcooked. Just perfect. Delicious. I hope you get to make this dish at your home as well. And do give me your comments and feedback on what changes you made or what changes you like to be made in the dish. Thank you for watching Archana's Kitchen videos. And looking forward to seeing you at the next video recipe.